Oh damn! I really timed it right. All right, man. Go ahead, give us that intro, Mayhul, that you give us so well, man.
What's up, y'all? It's your boys, Rick and Mayhole, the Peachtree Devs. Here for all your tech and shit talking needs.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
dang, I missed the 2 minute mark.
yeah. Oh well, oh well. Well, let's
Oh
keep
well.
going. But yeah, man. We're back. You know, a nice little getaway. Mainly just wasn't a getaway. Just I went out of town. That's what it really came down to. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun going to New York. You know, having some good time in the NY in the big city. Yeah,
How was it?
it was pretty cool, man. You know, I
Good.
just went to Long Island. I was out there in Baldwin. You know, they clown me for my accent, which it's kind of crazy. It's like, yo, y'all the ones with accent. What you think I got an accent for
Facts.
real? For real?
I tell them that all the time. I'm like, I'd be clowning them like that what is that Bronx accent that they got up there. I was like, bro, why does everybody sound like a bulldog up here, dog? Like, why are
Mhm.
y'all sounding like pit bulls and shit up here?
You about to
Like, oh,
call
we
me?
hard from the streets. I'm like, that ain't a good thing, my dude.
Yeah, I mean, bacon egg and cheese. I need the bacon egg and cheese.
Get you a chopped cheese, from the bodega, my guy.
My guy from the deli, my guy, my
My
guy.
guy.
Yeah,
Ayo
they love.
Ak, Ayo Ak. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was fun though, man. I basically just went to the city, bought some shoes.
Mhm.
Didn't plan on buying shoes, but bought shoes and then came back. So took my nephews out in the city too as well. It was fun. It was fun. Got my little
Nice.
nephew some kicks. Shout out to Mobile Sheldon. But it
Had
was
to
a
lace
nice.
them up.
Oh yeah, last time I went to New York actually was with he was there. He was like I think he was like 12, and I told everybody I was like, hey, I'm gonna give this kid a childhood memory. So like the 11 Concord, the Lowe's came out,
Oh
and then I was
yeah, 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 yeah. That was
yeah,
a good
yeah. And
drop.
I was like, hey, go over there and get your size, man. I was like, look, if you convince your mom to go half, I'll get the other half for you. His face like lit up, ear to like grin, just ear to ear, basically. And he's just like, oh yeah, mom, can you get this? I didn't think his mom was gonna be able to. I thought she was gonna say, hell no, I ain't give you those shoes. And but she said it, and I was like, hey, I gotta keep my word. So
Man of your word.
let's get these kicks. He got the kicks. He was happy as hell. 3 months later, man, them shoes were fucked up, bro. Like, and I grabbed him, I picked him up out the chair, like, bro, what you doing? What you doing?
You ain't gotta put them on ice, but take care of them.
Yo, they were beat up, and I was like, damn. I see what my mom was so mad, man, at me. I did the same thing.
That's crazy. Dang, like I'm a fan of wearing your shoes and like wearing your whatever it is, like watches, shoes, whatever. Like wear that shit. Don't just buy it, throw it in the safe, but
Mm-hmm.
like take care of him a little bit at least.
Yeah, he didn't know any better, man. He was a kid. But
Can't be mad at that.
hey, he's a teenager now. He takes care of his shoes. So I got him some more shoes.
Got the level up.
The level up, man. The level up. But all right. So before we start talking, man, we talked about multiple things. The whole Kevin Samuels rumor that's going around Twitter right now, saying the guy died. And those who don't know, he's a popular YouTuber. He talks about some real shit. I don't agree with everything, but I don't disagree with everything he says. But there's just a lot of people who just don't like the guy and wishing upon the guy's death right now on Twitter. Like it's so
That's
sad.
crazy, bro.
It's sad, man. For a person you never even met, you're just saying, "I'm smoking on a Kevin Samuels pack tonight." Like what? Like it's
This
crazy right now.
seems weird because like I've seen some Kevin Samuels videos and like he has some views that are like kind of extreme, I guess, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
people disagree with it. But like he's not one of those people that is like out here like infringing on people's rights and shit like that you would be happy that died or something like that. Also, I
yeah.
just think it's lame to be happy somebody died unless like I don't know, like they're like physically harming you or something, then like by all means be happy, right? But like this dude was just like getting clicks on YouTube and
Yeah,
like
it's somebody that
he's a
you.
little toxic. He's a toxic dude, whatever.
Yeah, but it's like, yo,
But we
you never
listen to
even.
Future, right? Like
Yeah,
what?
we do. We do. New album. It's okay. But yo, new album. But yeah, man, I just had to get that out, man. That shit's like really sad right now. It's just some sick ass people in this world. But yeah, man. What I wanted to definitely talk about is something that I've been talking to you about. probably for like the past 3-4 weeks. It's a certain coworker that's kind of not coworkers, but coworkers over time of our career that just do too much. And as developers, like it's kind of crazy. Like a majority of developers do too much. Like whether they be like passionate about their code, whether it be like, hey, you put a comment on a PR, they go crazy, or you put a PR out, and when I mean PR, people, I mean like merging your code. They're leaving notes like, oh, you could have just did this a little better, but I don't know the way. I don't know which way. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? So me, on the other hand, I don't know, I don't know about yourself, man. Who I assume you're similar. We're cool ass guys, but I don't give a fuck. So it's like I don't really give a shit about. Like I'm just writing code, bro. If the shit work, it work. I roll with it. You leave me some good comments, I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. And there's people who just seek the argument more than anything else, man. Like this past.
So
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I mean, me and you, we're old in the tech game. We coming up on a decade.
Oh
We
yeah,
put in our
yeah,
time.
yeah. Oh geez.
So I notice it's a certain type of programmer. Not talking about like a demographic or anything, but just like a personality type where they always want to be right. And I don't know if like you could probably think of some situations in the past where we have worked together, and there were certain types of people,
Several.
several people that they always wanted to be right. They always thought they knew better. And like an example I can think of specifically was, oh hey, that's not how you do that in Angular, blah blah blah. And then I pulled up the repo, like the Angular repo. I was like, can you see who merged that pull request there? That's your boy. So
No, you did. You flexed on him like that.
I was like, I had to let him know. I was like, bro, like I invented that piece of code. They're like, ain't nobody on earth know how to do it better than me because I literally wrote the code.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, well, if you did it this way, it'd be better. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like, I promise you, nobody cares if this small little change here happens or doesn't happen, And it's like people get caught up in the uh the minutia of the code rather than the problem you're trying to solve. It's like, bro, step 1, solve the problem. Step 2, make the code easy to read and upgrade. If you have a requirement for speed, cool, do that. But chances are you probably don't. Like,
not at
and
all,
I
man.
personally think if it's speed versus maintainability, I'm gonna pick maintainability every time, unless it's like a specific use case. So like, bro, like at that point, it's like, oh, well, stop using for eaches, use for loops, and just like shit like that. Like even those nerds are gonna have problems,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about it, bro. Like this situation that I'm going through recently. So we had a poll last week to decide whether or not we change our unit test files from a different extension. So pretty much .spec and .test. We got both. We got, bro. We have both in our code base right now, which I don't give a shit. I mean, they both do the same thing. We write our tests. They both run the tests. We did a poll for from this coworker that wanted to change everything one way. 3 options. Do you want to do .spec, .test, or you don't care? Which one you think won?
Don't care.
Don't care one.
Nobody cares.
Nobody care. So, and like we go through a retro, but not even a retro. It was a stand-up. So it was more of a like, you guys got anything for the parking lot? She comes, the individual comes up and says, hey, I feel like, even though the vote went in the way of the third option, I don't care. It was a close race. Can we talk about it? And keep in mind, it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. This is actually Monday. So this is after my because I don't know why we did this, but we did it. A 5 a.m. flight for New York and got back home at 7 a.m. So I'm tired.
You're a diligent employee. You're just trying to make it to the office,
Yeah, I worked from home that day, bro.
You was trying to log into Slack. You feel me?
yeah, this is Monday. So I'm here, and keep in mind, Ash went to sleep for like 3 hours, so I had to look at her sleep on the couch. While I'm still like, damn, I should have just took off. So that's when this question comes, like, I feel like we should have a standard or whatever. And I'm like, wait, we already voted on this, right? What's the issue, bro? like, yo, like, what is the issue? I'm like, is this like performance? Is this gonna like improve our code, or is this more of a preference? You know, people don't answer questions when they're hard, so they didn't answer them.
There's this thing, and like I hate using these I guess you call it like a saying or whatever. I hate using programmer sayings because like I think all that shit is whack, but they call it bike shedding.
Oh, I never heard
So
that one.
the idea is it's like, oh hey, like your problem is, oh, I need to put together this bike and it needs to be fast, it needs to be safe or whatever. And like all these programmers start like solving the issue. And then you end up spending hours on trying to figure out, oh, well, we got to build a shed to put the bikes. And what color should we paint the shed? And shit that just doesn't matter to the problem.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like, bro, like what?
yeah. And I mean,
Honestly, though, dude, I will also say, the biggest offenders, like the personality types, are generally like I hate to like shit on junior engineers, but it tends to be junior engineers that want to show off. I feel like, and by junior, I don't mean in terms of skills. I mean in terms of just like maybe workplace experience, just interpersonal skills or whatever. Like people that just want to flex all the time that they know the answers, and it's like, bro, working isn't about knowing all the answers. Working is about working together with other people. If you do that well, I'd rather work with like 100 programmers that work well together. That might not be top notch. Like just give me 100 average engineers that work well together, and you're gonna beat out like 100 engineers that don't work well together that are like, I don't know, MIT, Harvard grads or something, you know?
yeah, you just want somebody that's just cool and relatable, and you can actually like work with. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, because like I could teach you stuff you don't know, but I can't teach you how to work with people, you know? Like I can't teach you how to be a cool person.
Yeah, but in this situation, this was not a junior engineer.
No.
No, this is
Oh
a very
man.
high up engineer. Well,
Damn.
by title, I don't know. I mean,
I mean, they
just it's
might.
just a title. But yeah, bro, it's just every time, and it's like every time it's like you do a PR, anything like, oh, yo, what about spacing here, or can we go camel case? And it'll be more of a passive aggressive question, and it's not even a comment on the actual like the code itself. So it's just like, all right, what the hell does this even mean? Like, what do you want
So
me to do? Like, I don't care. Like, I just want to get this shit merged in.
I just thought of maybe a solution for you next time they do that. Just be like, hey man, or be like, you seem to like really care about standards and stuff. Why don't you develop a lint file for the repo and just set it up so it auto lints for everyone? That way we don't
Oh,
have to worry about shit.
he or she is working on that currently,
Okay.
and
They're
that
working on
has
that.
something to do with the .spec .ts files that nobody gives a shit about, but this individual. And I mean, bro, this is not even the only job, because I mean, even at the orange company we was there, we saw hell of those engineers who just try to be right. Because think about
It's
it,
like
bro.
it's not about being right. Like
Yeah, but
I
they
mean, it is about being right, but it's like not the only thing that matters.
yeah, but it did when we were there. It felt that way. It was just like one guy, with the whole pair programming dynamic, everybody try to prove they're the fucking smartest, and just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a talk next month about this or RxJS, such and such and such. And then my thing is like each one teach one, bro. I rather you just like, hey, if you learn something new, brought to the table. In the situation that we're in with pair programming, you could have easily just said, oh, this is what I do for RxJS. This is how I deal with this. Instead, you're just like, huh, I would have did RxJS in this one. Huh, go figure it
I would have
out.
done this
Huh.
like
I don't know why you don't read articles after work. Huh.
I know the type of I probably know the specific individual you're thinking
Well, they're
about.
individuals, bro, but you probably know one of them. You probably know one of them. You probably know one of them. Well, you don't know them, but you knew who the person was at the time of our life. We do know one person that we still work with. I mean, well, we worked with at the time. He cool as hell, man.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to
shout
my
out to
dude.
Waller. Shout out to
Shout out
Waller.
to Waller.
We're not talking
Waller
about
was
Waller.
super
He lives.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
funny
he's
because like
super cool.
Waller did exactly what you said. Like Waller's into coding and stuff, and he was like doing like at the time I think Stencil JS, and just like cutting edge at the time. But he was never like, huh, I would have done it this way. He's like, hey guys, this shit looks cool. I think it'll help us because XYZ. And then we'd all be like, oh, cool, dude. Do that shit.
Bro, you remember that time? It was that one guy, the one guy who was like had the Homer Simpson haircut with the ball in the middle. Remember he said, "I'm going to my dad's lake house" or something like
Bro,
that.
when I found out I was older than him,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I remember
I
that
thought he
day.
was like 40 something. I mean,
Oh yeah, bro, I
hair
thought it was
loss
his
is a
second
seriously
career.
not the clown hair loss, but like his attitude was also like a 40-year-old man
Yeah, it
too,
was like an old man, and
Yeah.
he like one time somebody he was getting on somebody about their PR or whatever, and somebody made somebody made a test that said expect true to be false and accidentally left it in there in the test work.
Yeah.
And the test work, and he was like, "Oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous. Why the hell would they even like post this in a PR and just expect somebody to do this? They need to fix this shit. They need to fix all this." And and then he'll put a message in there, "Come seek and talk to me about this."
Come to my desk. I'm like, bro,
Bro,
what?
bro, just tell them what you want them to do, bro. Just like it's no
He
big
didn't
deal.
even work there. He was a
He
consultant.
he was a contractor, bro, and that's why he was going even harder. Because I mean, think about it, bro. And like that's you hit the nail on the coffin earlier, where you said the junior engineers.
Mhm.
He was a junior engineer because this,
Yeah.
this was his second career. I forgot what the fuck he was doing in the beginning, but this was his second career, and this guy was going extra hard. Like, yeah, when I go home, I just read some articles on such and such, such and such and such and such. Bro, even the speakers we had at Render last year, some of them he was just quoting them by name, like, "Oh yeah, he would have did it this way." I remember this fool wrote a PR standard because of me. I pissed him off one day. That day where first off, we found out the Orange Company doesn't have MLK Day off, which is kind of fucked up. But
Especially considering it's an Atlanta company that's local. That's
yeah,
like
and then I
double.
was told the stores are open, so we support the store. But here, other than that, man, it was one time where I pretty much had this piece of code that I was working on. He was gonna be off Monday, and I got it done. I was just like, everybody was like, "Oh, cool, 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 thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up." And he's saying, we should do this. We should address this here. We should address that here. And this is brand new code, bro, that he wants me to do to fix something he did a while ago. And I'm talking to, I forgot the guy's name that was on our team. He was like the staff engineer. I forgot his name. Sorry, but
He was cool. He was a
he was
cool
cool.
guy.
He was a cool
Yeah.
guy. He was a cool guy. He was a really cool guy. But he was like, "Yeah, Rick, don't matter. I'll just merge it in for you. Merge it in."
He did that for
And
me all the time because like he knew like what we were dealing with. And he was
yeah,
like, you guys are smart. You guys know what you're talking about. Like,
yeah,
don't worry about this.
"I'll just merge it in for you." So we get there on Tuesday when he gets back. So he expected this PR to last until he got back on Tuesday. He was like, "Yeah, what happened to that piece of work you worked on?" He said that code, that PR you had. I was like, "Man, I merged that shit. Somebody left some comment that didn't make no sense, so I just got to merge that shit in." He was like, "What?" And I didn't know that was. I guess I didn't know that was him. That was his comment. I was just like, "Yeah, I just merged that shit in." What? No, we didn't address PRs or whatever. And bro, it's me, bro. So I'm smiling at this guy like,
You're just
"Okay,
like,
bro.
okay,
Okay,
dude,
bro.
like we
Okay,
could do
dude.
that.
Yeah, yeah." Laughing like, "Okay, dude. All right, well, come on, let's get back on this stuff." And then the next day came, and bro, you already know how you and me always came late to stand-ups because stand-ups were at 9 a.m. I got
And it
there.
wasn't because we were late. It was because parking with 20,000 employees is impossible,
Bro, it
dude.
was terrible. You'll be
Bro,
outside on a deck across the street. Like it was terrible.
bro, like I lived like at the time my apartment was like 5 miles from there or something or whatever, right? Like I'd leave like 45 minutes early and like just parking there would just be like whatever. So I was just like, whatever, man. Like I'm gonna pull up when I pull up
Yeah.
because
I mean, keep in mind, the same dude, he also said, I get here early, so I don't have to deal with parking. I get here at 8 o'clock.
you
Another doing too much thing right there. But
you don't get paid for that extra hour, my
no, he
guy.
don't, bro. He don't. So the funny thing is, like, he got pissed off, and that next morning, that's when it's 9 a.m., bro. I'm half asleep. I don't. Come on, man. I'm here to get paid. I'm just like, yeah, I did this yesterday. I'm gonna do this today. Cool. And then he gets to his part. He was like, I would like to say, first off, if somebody put comments on PRs, we need to respect those comments and we should not merge anything in until that person is whoever sees it and they can resolve it. Yes. It is 9 a.m., bro. And I'm pissed now. So I'm like, what? And I literally say, what? I was like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? I was like, your comments didn't make no sense. So we merged it in. Such and such merged it in for me, actually. I know, but still. So, and here's the thing, bro. You know, at the orange, pretty much they don't want to see an angry black man. I realized that. So everybody saw when I was getting riled up, they was like, oh, come on, let's calm down. Let's talk about this later. I'm like, y'all just let this dude go on his little rant, and y'all not gonna let me rebuttal? Like, like it's crazy. But so afterwards, I tried to pull him to the side. I was like, as man to man, I was like, hey man, can we step outside and go talk real quick? Or can we go talk in the hallway? You know what he told me, man? We could talk about it during the meeting on Thursday. I was like,
you don't want to talk man to man.
You don't want to talk man to man. You don't want to talk man to man. And I'm just like, oh, okay, bro.
That's real soft. That's real soft.
All you gotta do is just like we got a difference of opinion, man. Let's just have a conversation, just you and me. You came at me at 9 a.m. Let's talk. Didn't want to talk, man. It was sad. But hey, that was another person who's just doing too much, man.
Bro, these nerds, dog, I just don't
nerds,
get it,
bro.
Like, it's cool to be a nerd, but it's like that's a different type of nerd, man.
Yeah, he just doing things too seriously, and all he did, man, it was plenty of them, man, at that company, at that orange company. Just pair programming with certain people. Remember I got hit with that when I did a switch statement. They said, "Hey, man, I feel like this can be a little better." Hey, facts, Quest. He was soft. He was soft. He was soft. He was a privileged kid who
bro, he was talking about going to his dad's lake house and shit, and I'm over here, I'm like, bro.
I never even heard. I'm from Lithonia, bro. So I was like, wait, your parents bought a house on the lake or something? No, it's just a lake house. We just go vacation there. So you got your own house and you got a lake house?
You got two houses?
Okay. It's new to me. So yeah, bro. Yeah. But yeah, he was soft. But that's what we run into. And especially in the software community, right? Like people are non-confrontational. That's why you see a hella beefs on Twitter versus like, all right, bro, you got an issue, bro. Let's just talk. Or
everyone wants to put it on the timeline so they can get clout.
And then people just tough behind screen names, man.
Speaking of people tucked behind screen names, you saw that dude that attacked Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Apparently he was talking some mess on Twitter.
Prior to?
Yeah, apparently he said something like, let Dave Chappelle talk some noise about like a certain demographic or something. I'm a Will Smith him. And then
that man bought a first row seat. He had this shit pre-planned. He said, I'll spend 1,000 on this seat. I dare him to say something crazy. I'm gonna go on this stage.
They beat his arm backwards, dog. They beat his arm backwards.
Oh man, that was too funny. That was a funny one. That was when reality set in for this guy.
Bro, that shit was so wild to me.
But yeah, back to it, man. It's just certain developers, man. I'm just not. It just do too much, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's us. I don't know.
I think I figured it out. I mean, not even to put this on some like racist shit. Like it's gonna be some racist people, it's gonna be some not racist people in every work setting.
True.
But I think it's just our cool demeanor. We walk in there and we look and we talk like we don't know what we're talking about, and we're just like always taking everything so nonchalantly. Mm-hmm. So it makes them think that we don't care about this stuff. And like I always have to remind them, it's like, hey, bro, you're not about to talk shit about my code. Like, they be thinking just because I'm cool about this shit, like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just in there just like chilling. And it's like, nah, bro, like I really do this shit.
I
just
had to
because
flex
I
on my
don't act
coworker
nerdy
last
like
year.
you, like don't make me flex on you because like I wrote
Yeah.
half the code that you're using. Like, what is this shit, dog? Like,
Yeah, so I've been rewriting like a lot of our shared components
mm-hmm,
and just writing test descriptions and improving our storybook. So for some certain stuff. So I
mm-hmm.
did it for one piece of code and they was like, "Hey, I feel like this prop should be back in there." And I was like, "Yeah, that prop wasn't doing anything if you look at the code. It doesn't matter." So I ripped it out. One guy was like, "All right, cool." Another guy was like, this is no. Put that prop back in there." Based just like that, right? I saw it in the PR and I was like, all right, bet. Go Slack. Hey, you got a second? Let's jump on a call. Let's chat. No, I'm in a meeting right now, but just go ahead and just do it. When you gonna get out the meeting? I don't know when. All right, I'll be here.
Bro,
I'll be here. So he got there and then he's trying to show me when he got in the meeting. He's like, hey, how's it going, man? I was like, not much. Show me what you I was like, I just want to break down this code and show you what I'm talking about because I don't think you know understand what I'm talking about. So he shows me how he's using the share component. He's like, yeah, it should be doing this, that, and the third, but it's doing this. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. I said, open up the code, go to the line such and such, show me what this prop's doing. And I said, if you go to this line, I was like, as long as we provide, because it was an error prop, is a boolean, true or false, or either you get the error message, which needs a string. We just
that's
relied on it. If the error message is there, we initiate the error state.
yep.
Error prop doesn't do anything. So I was like, go to this line, show me. All right, go to that line of code. Okay, now what do you think? And then he said, oh, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, it should have been doing this, but I don't know. Someone might have changed it. Go to the annotation. It was someone way before me, and he was like, "Oh, all right. Well, sorry about that. I guess we're good to go to merge this in."
Bro.
Just doing too much, man. And then, like you said, man, they think you just, hey, go ahead and just do it. What?
They're testing your code gangster.
Yeah, I'm
Like they're
like,
testing
what?
your G, like, are you G or not with this code shit? It's like, bro, just because I don't look like it, don't mean I will bro, like
I'm just like, bro, show me. If you can show me,
show
cool.
me that
If
it's
not,
better.
it is what it is. But I was like, don't tell me what to do, bro. Don't
Like,
tell me like just go ahead and do it. What? No, that's
bro,
dumb. I'm not doing that. It's just like
that shit is so hilarious, dude. It's like, no, dude. Like, oftentimes what I'll do is like I'll just point them to my GitHub. I'm like, oh yeah, the Arctic Vault code, like, yeah, your boy's in there. Moment.js, I'm in there, RxJS, I'm in there, Angular, like, bro, like half your career is based on shit I helped build. Like, what are you
man.
talking about?
I mean, that's the ultimate flex right there.
Yeah, I mean, because like, I pull up and I'm just like, I'm really low key with it, real just positive energy, just like, yeah, guys, let's get this shit done. Let's not worry about it. Let's not stress over it. And then, motherfuckers think that just because I'm not out here writing code at 2 a.m. for fun, that like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Now I am writing code at 2 a.m., but it's not for work. And that's the
I
biggest
mean,
thing is
yeah,
just like
I'm out here doing.
outside of the 4 or 5 o'clock, I don't even know my computer's my bag. I'm done. I'm like I'm not. That's it is what it is. Like I feel like for me, I knock out 2 tasks, 1 task a day on a Jira board. It's easy, write some tests. I don't know. It takes other people all day, but for me, it's just like easy. Listen to some music, and that's it. Day's work done. Now it's time to put the real work in. So
Mhm.
I really don't care. I really don't care to get into the arguments. If you think this code's that better that way, cool. I'll copy and paste your shit, bro. I don't care.
Bro,
Merge it in.
like, yeah, like, especially on like trivial shit, right? It's like, bro, like, it makes sense, like, if you're doing some shit on the platform, but it's like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this CSS would be better if you do it this way. I'm like, all right, bro, okay.
So I don't think I ever told you this. So when I was working at like Georgia Tech, there was this I don't know if he was like they went by research developers. That was their title. And this guy was like a research developer too. Basically, if you go to school, the higher up in school, the more your promotion would be basically. Everything's school based. That's the reason why I quit. But this guy did not know how to write code. Like I could tell, like he used to write Java. He wrote a little bit of JavaScript, but it was an Angular project. He didn't know anything that was going on, and this is like the very beginning of like Redux, just like
Mhm.
standing up your Where everybody should get introduced to it. I'm introduced to it. This kid named Giuseppe, actually, he was a Georgia Tech grad at the time. He was at Georgia Tech. He was working with us too as well. I don't know, but this guy didn't know shit, and basically he would leave a comment, and I'm like, hey, why'd you leave that? Yeah, let's just wait till Giuseppe gets here. Let's wait till Giuseppe. Like he relied on a he relied on a 19, 20-year-old to write code for the code base, and all they did was copy and paste from a previous project. And we're just like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck y'all doing? Why is this 19-year-old guy giving you orders on what to do? And then I knew someone was shady the first day because I was like, hey, can you give me a rundown on this code? Why do you guys move these actions? How does this actually work? Because I was relatively new to the reducers, effects, all that. And I was like, hey, so how does this work? My man didn't know. He was like, oh, the actions, but the reducers, they do this. They just, and then effects just do this. Bro, it was just like a one sentence answer. And I was like, all right, well, can you break down why you guys do this? What is the actual meta reducer? Like, how are you guys doing this? He didn't know anything, bro. And this 20-year-old kid, or 21-year-old kid, had to break it down to us. One of my coworkers ended up quitting the project, where he just said, I don't want to work with this guy ever again.
Fair.
And I work with the guy. And then, I got out of it because that's when the startup took off. And I went halftime. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do part-time, but I don't want to work on that project. I just want to work on another project instead.
Dead that shit.
And I told him, I was like, yeah, man, I'm not working with you guys. They gave the kid a job, man. Shout out to him. But at the time they were lowballing everybody. But I think they changed their salaries now. They're just getting with the standard finally.
That's funny though, because like I feel like the standard is like moving to now. So like by the time they're at like the old standard, the new standard's already kind of out there.
Yeah, like it used to be just the flat going rate minimum for like seniors was 120.
Yeah.
And then now that's through the roof now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not crazy to see seniors make double that in Atlanta anymore now.
Yeah.
Like before it was like unheard of. Like there might be like a handful of people that are making that money, but like it's probably 100 devs in Atlanta making that much money in a senior role.
Yeah. I mean, shit, the way the remote world is now, might be more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with everyone from Cali moving here.
Yeah.
Cali and New York, for sure. As well.
But yeah, people be doing too much, man. That's what I got from that. Oh, bro. So I don't know if there's a commercial on TV where a white guy said that's cap. I don't know if you've
On
seen that.
TV?
Yeah. I don't
Damn,
know.
is Cap dead now?
I think so. And you could play it, bro. We got we got the last thing we played. I think we got copyrighted. We got copyright
Did we? We
claims
got
on what
copyrighted?
yeah,
All right.
I don't care. We
I
not
don't give a, we're
monetized.
not making money off our YouTube anyways, bro.
I don't give a fuck, man.
All right, I'm pull up YouTube. What do I look up?
I forgot the name of the commercial. I think it was a DoorDash commercial. It might have been a DoorDash commercial. And I don't know, bro. I don't know if you ever heard the song by Outkast called Hollywood Divorce, where pretty much they say everything cool starts off in the hood and then it goes Hollywood and then there's a divorce.
That's one of my beefs with Twitch culture.
What do you mean?
Like they just take like cool rap shit and then they just turn it into like nerdy gamer shit. And like it like kind of like how this commercial did it.
True.
Like the dab was like just like a thing in Atlanta, and then it became like this weird nerdy gamer thingy. Apparently, Cap did. The word salty. People are saying like, "Oh yeah, salty. That's gamer slang." I'm like, bro, saying someone's salty is like that's always been a thing. Like our grandparents would say that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
I was gonna say kind of like how Fortnite took all these dances.
And
And
like
turned the Millie Rock until the swipe up.
like, bro, what? Like, and so that's exactly it, right? Like they're just like commodifying this, and it's so strange to me. It's like, and lucky like being like a gamer in the fighting game community, like it's a little bit different because it just happens to be like a really minority filled
Mhm.
community. And it's always funny, like you always see people's like, nope, that's New York and Atlanta culture. That's not gamer culture. Like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, oh, well, if you was a pro gamer, you'd understand. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
A
You would
pro
be too
gamer.
scared to go to like the areas where like people talk like this on the regular.
Yeah, these clowns probably just watch one YouTuber who just using slang and just roll with it. Like, buddy, when he said, "Ain't no fucking way, boy."
Ain't no way, ain't no way. You see that kid, you see that kid get in trouble?
No.
There was this kid who's making like probably hundreds of thousands of dollars off his views, and he was a black kid or whatever, right? And he was just
Mhm.
roasting somebody during a game, and like apparently like he started losing his sponsors for it. I'm like, damn,
Oh.
bro, it wasn't even that crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like I'm like, yo, these white gamer kids say the N word and they're not losing sponsors,
Yeah.
right? Like, what is this shit?
Yeah. Oh, man.
But it's like, but when the
Mhm.
black kid says the N word, it's a problem.
It's like, yeah, come on now.
What? Like, bro. I mean, it's not my place to dictate who can say it and who can't say it, but I
Yeah.
feel like, come on, dude. Like, what is this?
Yeah, man, we can go deep into that one, bro.
It's
Uh,
funny because they call on Twitch. They say, "Oh, he had a gamer moment." When a white kid says the N word, I'm like, "Wait,
so
what?"
I'm a I'm a I'm gonna tell you a story. Savannah, it was the only time I went to Savannah during what's that Irishman holiday?
Oh,
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's, yeah.
St. Patty's Day. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. We
That shit
got
is a
there.
shit show, dog.
Yeah, it is a shit show. The second day we got there, oh, first day we got there was a second bar. It was a random white kid. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, y'all from Atlanta? Oh yeah, yeah, I'm from such and such in Athens. Oh yeah, yeah." And then he said, "Yeah," and then he out of nowhere he just dropped the N bomb, and then I was like, "What?" And then I'm feeling good. I'm buzzed, right? So I grabbed him. I pulled him to the side. I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna be real with
You're
you,
not
bro."
about to kill my buzz.
I was like, "Hey, bro, don't say that shit again, bro." And I was like, "Look, if I'm having a great day, bro, if I was having a semi okay day or a bad day, I'll beat your ass right now." I was like, "I'll slap
Right?
the shit out of you right now while we're talking." And then he was like, "Oh man, I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much for pulling me to the side. You and your boys want to drink anything? Is drinks on me the whole time." I was like, "Oh, okay. Him." I started picking out random people.
Random black dudes in the crowd. You're like, yeah, they all with me.
He got us all drinks. He kept getting us drinks.
I
But
really
yeah,
appreciate how that dude was like, all right, cool. Instead of saying, hey, man, how come you can say it? I can't say it.
yeah,
Or
he
they say
respected.
it in songs. Like, he was just like, oh, shit, my bad.
He respected. I was like, "Hey,
Damn.
if I was having a bad day, or if the wrong person heard this, they'll beat your
Oh,
ass right now."
instant.
Instant, and it's just, yeah. But he was just appreciative. I pulled him to the side. So,
Damn. I'm imagining old boy from the Orange Company saying the N word now.
oh yeah, one of them.
He's scared talking about
I would
code
just
on the
swung on him.
side.
Yeah, I would just swung on him and just say, "Yeah, bro." He just said, "Ain't where he pissed me off." But nah, no. It was
Bro, what?
underlined. That'll be my excuse. Oh yeah, bro. He dropped the N bomb, bro. I had to stick, bro.
I had to do it.
Yeah. You trying
I'll
to
get
press
some kicks
charges?
in there. I'll get some
Oh,
kicks in there. I'll be like, hey, bro, he prefaced it with the word sand.
I would say, "Officer, you trying to press charges? This might be a hate crime. I don't know about that now. We might as well drop this right now. We can dismiss this right now."
I'm like, hey, bro, hey, he called me a sand N word. I had to get my kicks in too.
But yeah, man. Yeah. But
Man.
yeah, man. People are saying cap now. People are like, it's a mainstream thing now, man. Yo, so
So
yo,
what,
Mike.
bro? Let's forget about Cap. Random nerdy ass kids are saying, "Oh, I'm pushing P." I'm like, you only know what pushing P is, bro. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Pushing P. Yeah. I know what yeah.
I'm like, bro. They're like, oh, and like they're trying to like make up just, oh, that's when you sell perks. And so I'm like, no, it's not, you nerd. Like, what do you mean,
Pushing pounds, bro? Like, you don't need to be doing that, man. Just write code, kids.
bro? Like, he's like, no, man, it means I'm on that player shit. And I'm like, bro, A, you're not on no player shit. B, it's a lot more to it than just that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
Well, I mean, hey, that's the culture, man. That's the urban culture. It's basically just, it's the
Was
way
that
of everything, man.
it was from a Chappelle skit. I think it was like Mooney, the old comedian. He's like, everyone want to be down, but nobody wants to be down. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it that way because obvious reasons, but listeners can imagine what the real words were. But like, come on,
Yeah, if
man.
not, you can go to you can watch Dave Chappelle, buy his skits online. I mean, buy the DVD. I don't even know if he's getting paid for it. Oh man, screw that. No advertisement.
YouTube that shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, bro, how's everything going in terms of like the AWS life? Reason why I got a follow up question.
All
Not for
right.
me. Not for me.
Okay. Okay. AWS life is great. The stock's tanking right now, so that's kind of annoying.
A lot of tech company stocks. Everybody's tanking right now,
Everything's
regardless.
tanking. It's just
Yeah.
annoying because like we just had our like our yearly compensation reviews,
Hmm.
and the way they do it at AWS is like, say you have like a target salary, like say for example, let's just say your salary is $1 million, for example, and let's say you're getting paid 200,000 in cash and the rest is in stock. So what they do is like, hey, you get this many stocks, but then if the value of the stock goes down, they'll give you more stock to make up for that.
Yeah, that's what my current company did now. Because when I got there, I believe they were trading at probably like $94 to $100 a share. Last time I looked, they were at $40. So
Mm, they
yeah,
doubled up
and
how much you got.
no, they dropped down. Like
Oh, damn.
my value reduced by 50%. So that's when they gave me this weird, 30K bonus worth of stock.
Okay, just to
Like,
make up for it.
yeah.
Yeah, so like, and the way Amazon does it is they do like the 30-day average right
Mhm.
before your review. So it was like, cool, the stock was up, and I was like, cool, we're not going to give you any extra stocks this year. And I'm like, cool, that makes sense. I'm at my, my salary range. And then like a month later, this shit just tanks. I'm like, damn, bro, I didn't even get that stock yet.
Yeah, because a lot of it's vested. Yeah, I mean, wait, you're how long you been at AWS?
Coming up on 2 years, I mean, I start vesting fast now because the first
Mhm.
2 years are kind of slow. And then it's every 6 months. So like
Oh,
I'm
nice,
gonna
nice,
start
nice.
vesting now. After I get
Yeah,
this next my 2 years finishes in June. So I'll get a grant then, and then after that it's every 6 months until my 4 years is done. And
then
then,
you get the full stock. Then
yeah,
you
then I'll have all my
slide.
stock, and then ideally before that I'll have my promotion, so that'll be like even more stock, even
Mhm.
more base and everything. Especially because they doubled the base salary limits now at
So
Amazon. So
where you don't go in the office yet, right?
no, I went the other day. We just did like a team meeting, like an on-site. So like I've been at Amazon for like 2 years now. Like we've met twice.
Hmm. No, a
So
friend of mine is he actually has an interview on Friday. He's in finance, so
mhm.
I don't know what he does in finance, but he basically about he's about to leave. Well, I don't want to put his information out there like that. He's about to leave his current gig, but
Mhm.
it's a VP title basically.
Oh
So
wow.
he's trying to go with pretty much everybody. This finance company, you all have a VP title, which is cool as shit. Um, so you can he's trying to move on to AWS because they gave him an interview. The only thing is like I guess like he has to go to Seattle or either San
Ah.
Fran, the Bay Area. But I was like, hey, I could talk to my boy and figure out how you can actually, work, remotely, or either you can be at the Atlanta office. I don't know which department I think he's strictly AWS, but I don't know which department you were in.
So I'm
But
AWS, and then in AWS I'm in ProServe, professional services.
okay, I'm gonna talk to him
Um,
about that then.
but our team is 100% remote. Like we don't like you might have to go fly to see a client, and like we do like these on-site team meetings where like and like they'll fly you out. Like Amazon will fly you because like even though like most of our team is Atlanta, we got some people in North Carolina, Virginia, Florida,
Hmm.
Tennessee, and like they'll fly you to come to these team meetings. So as we're strictly remote, which is super chill. I will say for your dude, tell him So like on the Amazon Jobs website, there's a link to the leadership principles. Tell him to study that shit and tell him to think of 2, 3 supporting examples from his career for each one of those.
Okay.
That's
You,
the hack right there. That's how
okay.
you Amazon's a very culture driven thing.
Hmm.
Now, like obviously, like he's finance, like on the business side, and like us being on the engineering side, it was different. But like thinking of like my on-site interview, but it was because it was during COVID, it was just digital.
Hmm.
It was damn near like 7 hours or something like that. But like out of that 7 hours, like I didn't write any code. I did some diagramming on how I would design a system. Like it was like, hey, just create like an app that's like scales really well and is like available. So like if you get DDoSed or whatever, because like obviously it's AWS, like you got to know a little bit about stuff like that from the engineering side. Shout out to YouTube. I studied on YouTube before that, and I literally was like, yes, I got it all fresh in my head and did that. But other than that, we just talked about like my experiences and those leadership principles. Like in my mind, I was like, all right, bet this experience relates to this leadership principle. So like in my head, it's like, oh yeah, I did blah blah blah, and so like that way I would hit all the main points because it was mostly behavioral than anything. Because kind of like we were talking about earlier, they just want to make sure they work with cool people,
Yeah.
and obviously it's such a big company, so like you might not always end up working with cool people, but that's definitely the hack. Like at least on our Southeast team, like ProServe Southeast, like everybody I work with is actually dope, which is crazy. Like pretty much we spent a half an hour just like shitting on people we've worked with.
Hmm.
But I gotta say, man, like I got great coworkers. Like none of them are
Okay.
like
Okay. Okay.
hey man, this is better. Most of them are like, all right, dude, like actually no, nobody's ever like now that I think about it, I don't think I've had a single comment from an AWS colleague on any pull request. Now
Damn.
that I think about it, I'm like, damn, coming up on 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is so I got a couple questions. First off, you had the interview without writing code because every time I when I last time I interviewed for like AW like it was Amazon Music. So it was like
Mm.
Amazon Music in Atlanta, whatever. So they wanted me to do like a coding challenge. I did it, and basically it was like, hey, come to this conclusion with these set data sets. Cool, done. All right, now make it into the second power faster on all of them.
Mm.
And these are like four coding questions, and then you have to write a solution for one speed, solution for another speed, and a solution for a third. I cut that shit
So
off.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So for mine, it was a phone screen. The phone screen, we also did like a screen share,
Hmm.
and it was like some like basic JavaScript. It was like, all right, you have an array. How do you do this with it without doing a loop? Or this is this, or like so I solved that. It was pretty straightforward. Like if you know JavaScript, you could figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was like, cool, how will we do it better? And then I'd be like, oh, I would do this, that. And there was a lot of verbal stuff. Just like because like I got lucky because I was hired as the first front end engineer for
Mm.
ProServe in the southeast.
Can
And
you
so
still
like they didn't
expound
have
it?
any front end engineers to test me.
Oh,
So they were
okay.
like just asking general questions too, like, all right, can you tell
Like,
me the difference between server side rendering and this, or this and this? And that's all stuff that like we know
what is the
already.
difference between a let and a const?
Yeah, like basic shit like that, right? Just to know I know JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
And then they look, and then even during my like on site, like my long interviews, like, because like they don't expect, like, because they're all like, they call them solution architects, like the guys that like design all these systems and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, just like you can make anything. Just like I just want to know like how you think and stuff because like they know I'm interviewing for a front end job. So like if I don't like add the load balancer in the perfect place, they're going like, whatever, dude. He's like a front end engineer. He doesn't necessarily need to know that. We just need to know that he's thinking about these things.
Hmm.
So and another front end engineer that got hired on our team, he said very similar. And so he got hired like after a year of us having front end engineers. So he said it was still very similar. Like they just wanted to make sure you know JavaScript. They wanted to look at your resume, make sure you got some like cool code and stuff like that. And are you cool?
Yeah,
Like, do
that's
you
what it
do
really
you
comes
fit the
down to.
culture, which are like those leadership principles, like AKA like, yo, like, do you stand behind your work? Like, if somebody like disagrees with you, how do you deal with it? And like they have like all these principles that you follow. And if you can like demonstrate that, like, yeah, like you would fit in with that, you're straight.
Okay. Yeah, every time I did it was just like do the coding challenge.
Bro,
Now I get
when you're
emails
ready
saying,
to come to Amazon, let your boy know. I got you, dog. Me and my
what a,
boy, my boy at Amazon started listening. Kylie, shout outs to you. He's the
oh,
best.
word. Shout
Yeah,
out to him.
he's like the front end team lead for like our division.
Mm-hmm.
So like he started like right after I did, and dude's super great. But let's say like, they always need more front end engineers on our team, like we're remote, we get paid well, everyone's super nice. Also like shout out to my manager, like he really supports us.
Damn, you got the whole
Bro,
AWS listening in.
bro, I mean he's not, I don't think he's listening, my
Yeah.
manager, but he's a cool guy. He's like this ex-military guy that went to UGA, so he's like a country boy, but he's super cool.
Oh, go
Um
dogs.
yeah, he lives in Dahlonega, and like he like has acres of land out there. And we were talking about like, yeah, man, we need to figure out how to get some land and stuff. But super cool guy. And, like he's very supportive. Like he's like, yeah, like you're front end, but like if you want to do some other shit, like yo, I totally support that. Like if you want to learn about security, because I was learning about security stuff because I was watching some YouTube video on hacking or something, and I was like, oh shit, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And just like picking up skills in that. So yeah, man, if you wanna, I mean, I don't know exactly what kind of salary, but you're probably going to make around $250,000 working at
We'll talk.
AWS.
We'll talk. I don't make no money on airways. Hey, I'm a broke ass guy. Come on now.
Yeah,
Like.
yeah, Quez, front end engineer boys.
Hey, man, that's crazy. So I was going to mention, bro, I got another email from AWS. It's always these fucking Amazon recruiters, and they'll say, if you're interested, here's a link to the coding challenge. I'm not doing no goddamn coding challenge right now.
We didn't have any coding. I didn't have a coding challenge, and none of the guys I talked to on my team had a coding challenge.
Yeah,
because like we're not. So the thing about ProServe is we're consultants for our Amazon clients, but we're not like staff augmentation. So like we do code, but like that's not our primary thing. Like we're supposed to like go in, help you design things, be like, oh, if you design it this way, this will be better. Maybe teach your team a little bit. And like being a front end engineer, I do end up doing a little bit more hands-on coding than like maybe another solutions architect does. But like it's not that whole like, oh yeah, we got these grunts to come code for you, like how other staffing companies do.
Yeah.
So like that's what I imagine that's one of the main reasons why the coding challenge wasn't a part of my interview. And they're like, hey, but can you design a scalable system? So
it's like, hey, we don't have anybody, but hey, can you do this though?
Yeah.
Can you do this?
Because like our clients were like, hey, we need more front end expertise, right? Because like Amazon's obviously like a back end hosting, like DevOpsy type company, and so they were like, clients were like, we need this. So then Amazon's like, yeah, let's just hire some front end engineers and then see how this goes.
Yeah.
So
I'll let you know my year mark. Because currently, man, everybody at my job, everyone in the product department is quitting right now. Because something happened with the CPO where he decided to take other ventures. You know how that goes. You can't really fire a C-level suite without bad press. So
they have what do they call them? Golden parachutes.
Yes, golden parachutes. Now he'll land somewhere nicely. But it's man. So after he left like 3 weeks ago, everyone's either quitting or got fired or something, let go or something, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it. The engineering is fine. It's fine. It's fine." So we had an all hands meeting, and I hope my coworkers are listening. It's kind of funny. I was on a call most of the time during the all hands meeting for our tech all hands meeting. So they announced it there that a lot of people were leaving or a lot of people getting let go, because they're trying to focus all their resources and funding and engineering. So I get my one-on-one, and this guy is like, hey, just want to check in. I know that was a lot to go on. There was a lot that was announced. I just, make sure everything's okay with you. And bro, I really would have paid attention, so I didn't even know what he was talking about. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I feel like this shit doesn't affect me, so it really doesn't matter. It really does not matter. You told me, you said all our money's going to engineering, so I feel like I'm good. I just write code, man. It's all good, man. But yeah, a lot of the product is leaving because I guess I don't know. The CPO left. Yeah. They said he wasn't the nicest of the guys.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'll let you know at the year mark, man. That's how I judge
I got
companies.
you, dog, because they've been good to me, and like that's the thing with Amazon. You hear horror stories and you hear like love letters, pretty much, because the company's so big, right? Like everything depends on what team you're working on
Hmm.
and how things go. But my
I was
team's
told
dope.
that too.
Yeah,
At the Orange Company, I ran into another director at the gathering spot. He was like, "Oh yeah, you work with my team." I was like, "Nah, bro, I ain't coming back. I ain't trying to be in the
yeah.
office. I ain't trying to do all this. I live in the city. I don't want to leave the city." And he was like, "Oh yeah, everything's remote on me." I was like, "Nah, bro. I got scorned. I got scarred. Uh, I'm, I'm a scorned individual, man. So I
Hmm.
can't go back." But yeah, man,
Yeah, I mean that's
we got a lot
something
of
that a
stories
lot of
from
these
the place.
companies need to pay attention to is exit interviews and stay interviews as well. That's something that we talked about at Amazon is like not even exit interviews, stay interviews.
Bro, I thought I was gonna get one when I left the Orange Company. I was gonna get an extra interview.
Yeah.
He told me, "Thank you for your service. Here's a package."
Yeah, and like that's the thing, right? Like they need to pay attention to these things cuz like they're burning bridges and like the tech community isn't as big as people think it is. Like I don't know. It's just I don't understand like marketing to get more developers depends on how your developers feel about their job or X job, like if
Mhm.
they like their job, like for example, I like my job at Amazon and I put it on the pod right now. It's like probably more people would be interested in Amazon. But if I was like, hey man, I have a bad experience, people are like, oh, I'm not working there.
Yeah,
So
and
just
that's why we always say Orange
yeah.
instead of the actual name.
Orange, you glad you ain't working there no more?
Yeah, I mean, we got some good things came out of that place, man. We met cool ass people from there, the cool ass devs
Yeah.
that we
Sh-
still
sh-
interact with.
Shout out to Waller, man.
Yeah,
Waller's that dude.
boy, I haven't talked to him in a while. My boy Oscar, I need to reach out to him.
Oscar's cool as hell too. I think
Yeah,
he's up in Alpharetta working at
yeah,
the
he's still
Alpharetta
at
company.
ADP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, damn! I didn't know we. You said Alfreda Company. You threw me off. I didn't know we were playing that game on that
I don't
company
know.
too.
I mean,
But yeah, man, it's definitely. I think a lot of companies are coming together now, realizing that they need to pay attention more to the extra interviews
mhm.
and why people are unhappy. Like, keep in mind, I mentioned earlier, I have my one-on-one with the VP engineering all the time, like every 2 weeks, and he's adamant. Like, I don't care about that one-on-one. I'm just like, first 5 minutes, oh yeah, everything's cool, man. All right, cool. He wants to drag on a conversation because he really wants to understand how I feel. So
Yeah.
this past time, he was like, "Hey, yeah, there's a survey. Just want to make sure you fill out the survey. And, it helps us out and stuff like that." And I was like, yeah, sure." He said, "Yeah, it lets me know how you guys feel, stuff like that." He's like, "Is anything wrong? How do you feel about the new teammates? How do you feel?" I'm like, "Damn, this guy really wants to know what's going on with me." You know me. If something wrong, I'm not gonna tell you. I just don't care.
Until it's an issue, like if it's something small, I'm like, I'm gonna let it rock. I'm not gonna let it bother
Yeah.
me.
Now, if it's annoying me, I'll say something, but I'm just like,
Mhm.
yeah, everything's fine. But it's a good thing. I don't know. I feel like there's a shift. My previous company I came from, uh,
Mhm.
um, in NCR basically, nobody gave a fuck. I mean, but think about it. It was a pandemic. There's a company that used to having everybody in the office all the time. So it's like I get it. There's adjustable period for them, but it just wasn't no feeling of that. Like, yo, are you okay, man? Are you okay? Even though it gets annoying after a while. I mean, shit, it's just sometimes good to hear that a human being is checking on another human being and looking at it as like, yo, are you okay? Like, I know you're doing all this. I know this changes, even though you notice them. But hey, I just
Mhm.
want to make sure you're fine. And I respect that as a company.
Yeah. It just helps, like just like having people like care about you in general, and like let's also not like be under the impression that like coworkers are your friends. Like, yeah, you can be friends with your coworkers, but they're not
Yeah,
going to
that was
be
the last
like,
episode.
you know what I mean? Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you're also there to do a job. It's cool if they're your friends, but like, yo, don't expect the most from your coworkers. And like, it's a sad truth that like a lot of people get caught up. Just don't get caught up. You know,
Yeah.
be cool, be friendly. If you develop cool friendships, I mean, we did. We were coworkers and became pretty good friends.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
pulled up.
yeah.
I pulled up to your wedding, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, bro, I was just looking at the raw footage. I gotta send it to you. I
oh
got you
hell
in
yeah, let's go.
the
I bet that shit's funny as hell.
camera. Oh man. But it was like it's I don't know. It's something about a personal side of things. Cause kind of like how you
Yeah,
said your lead engineer who just obviously you like the guy. I mean, you talked about
yeah,
him a lot. So it's just people to people. And I'm realizing the companies are finally realizing that with everyone
yeah.
quitting.
Because like we're doing like every 2 weeks I have a one-on-one with my manager, and then on the alternating 2 weeks I have a one-on-one with like my lead. So it's like pretty much every like twice a month I get to like at least talk to somebody, you know.
Mhm.
So like, and like a lot of it is just like, hey man, like we don't got to talk about this work shit. We can just talk about some other stuff too.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, it's always cool.
yeah. Personal relationships, man. How do we get on this topic?
I mean, everything kind of comes down to that at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
Business, life, just everything.
that is true.
It pays to be cool to people. And like
That
I
is
don't
true.
understand why people don't understand that.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of pays to be cool to people, shout outs to 404, man.
Oh wait, before you say that, if Quez is watching, y'all know we had a better draft than y'all boys, man. Just leave it at that. Just leave it at that.
You ain't wrong about that.
Leave it at that. But go ahead and drop that collab, man.
Shout out to 404. Your boy is investing in them. Just helping out. Recently 404 got hit by I guess like some city enforcement saying that they couldn't do BYOB anymore. So for people that don't know, 404 Esports, they're an arcade out there in Doraville, right off of 285. And so they just let people bring their own drinks and enjoy their drinks while they're playing video games. And they've operated like that for a number of years. And it's funny because like there's literally police officers that come hang out there and nothing goes down. But recently, I guess some enforcement board came down, was like, hey, you can't do this anymore. So now Greg, the what do you call it? The proprietor, the founder of 404, he is getting a liquor license. So you know, you guys probably recognize 404 from just maybe we've done episodes there, we've done events there as the Peachtree Dev. So pull up on them. Stuff's in the works. Probably in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they'll have their license. So
And
it'll
then
be fun.
we'll have our
Also, shout outs to 404 because it's a lot of devs coming out of that community as well. A lot of
okay.
young devs.
Tell them about your future mentors, your
Oh,
mentees.
yeah, I'm pulling up tonight actually, meeting up with some kids, some high school kids that are self-taught coders. Like today's Smash Bros night. So just get them networked up, see what they like about tech. Maybe if I can give them some guidance, why not?
Hey, each one teach one, man.
It's like my son Musa out here, about to make the big bucks now.
Oh,
His interview went well, he says. I taught him the star technique. Have we talked about the star technique before?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. So anytime somebody asks you a behavioral question in an interview, like when was the time you and your manager disagreed, or those kind of standard questions, or like when was the time you underperformed or like missed a deadline?
Never.
Or what is a project you were proud of? Like, just like whatever behavioral questions that they ask you. I always think of the STAR technique. S stands for situation. So you talk about the situation. So that's give context on the work that you actually did before you talk about the work. T is the task. So that's the actual work. A is the action that you took. R is the result. And a part of the result, I always like to add, like, all right, this was the result. Like if I have hard numbers, like, oh, we increased sales by 5%, definitely say that. But also at the end, I'm like, oh, and learning from that experience, if I had to do it again, I would do this better. or I would do this because of XYZ. It's like any question you get, like it gives you a framework to think about questions. Cause a lot of times they might ask you something, it catches you off guard, and then you're like blanking. But like when you kind of have that framework in your head, you can just knock it out. And then you don't have to worry about like, oh yeah, we were coding this dashboard and oh hey, wait. Let me tell you about the dashboard. So we were doing the dashboard because of this. And like even though the information you're saying is the same, like if you kind of follow that framework, it kind of gives you that chronological way. So it just makes you seem like you're more put together, even though it's just the same information, you know? So top moose of that shit. He said he murdered his interview. So you know, let's get it.
Shout out Musa, man. Like
Yeah,
always.
so all you engineers listening, star technique definitely. And the thing about it is like maybe you don't emphasize all four of them, but like you tailor it to like the question being asked. But like you definitely want to try to like at least like hit highlights of each of those 4 points.
Damn.
It's the interview tech, dog. Like I need to start doing like an interview course for these kids.
Yeah, you should. You should. Look at you, man.
I got the tech, man. I got the tech. It's funny, because apparently there's this trend on TikTok. I don't really use TikTok like that, but there's a lot of like interview advice on TikTok. So like maybe if you guys are into TikTok, check that out. You might find something.
Wait, how you know if you're not into TikTok?
Because people will like repost them onto Twitter and IG and stuff. Yeah.
Had to try you right there.
Nah, bro, you gonna catch me slipping.
Yeah, I get TikToks from my mom all the time. I know she's listening, but yeah, every time she's at work, 4 o'clock hit. I know she's taking that late lunch. I get that text message. Oh, it's TikTok time. I know she's there for the whole hour, sitting in that car, eating a sandwich, watching TikTok.
That's funny.
So, yeah, man. Dang. We had a lot of topics. I thought we were going to cover 2, but hey, it is what it is. That's what we normally do as Peachtree Devs.
Oh, real quick.
Go ahead.
Early voting is in effect in Georgia. So if you're into it, go vote. If you're not into it, I can't tell you what to do.
Speaking of Georgia, everyone well, I don't know when we're going to post this pod, but today is what, May 5th? Bro, all Georgians get their $250 checks next week. Yes, sir. This man Kim trying to buy the vote. He's trying to buy his votes. He's trying to buy the votes. It makes sense.
People going things like, well, he gave me $250. He ain't do shit for me. So
I might buy another monitor. I don't know. I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know what I'm doing with my $250, dog. What you doing with yours?
Gas.
That is true. Oh, we're married, bro. We get $500. Oh, yeah. Oh, the twist.
Whoa, $500.
$500.
Throw that towards a flight somewhere on vacation.
There you go. Hey, man, he's trying to buy his vote, man. He know what he's doing. And the primaries come up because you mentioned early voting too.
Yep. The primaries, early voting started.
Oh, man, he timed it just right. This guy here, man, I don't know, man. He doing some smart tactics, man. You know, damn, we about to get political. Oh, well, fuck it.
Go ahead. Yeah. We got time.
Bro, so you know how Purdue has Trump backing him, right? And, you know, Trump and Kemp got beef because of the whole, the block hate. He wanted him to block the election, but he was like, hey, I don't see anything at fault. It is what it is. Long story short, you got to go back and check it out if you want to. So now this man Kemp got George Bush in his corner, bro. So
hey, bro, it's crazy. Like, I'm not trying to like influence people to vote Democrat or Republic or Kemp or Purdue, but it's kind of crazy how this is like a proxy war now, you know?
Yeah, bro, and it's a primary, and he's a primary, and two primary candidates got 2 presidential candidates rocking them. Like, hey, I'm with my boy Kemp.
Like, who votes during primaries? I mean, like, people just generally they don't go out to primaries, you know. And then people complain during the real elections, but like people are voting this year.
That is true. People are voting this year. And I told you I'm going for whoever benefits. Number 1, the kids. Number 2, education. Education is key. And I will say this: it's funny every time I do talk about Kemp. My boy, I told you, my boy called me Republican Rick sometimes. And I keep in mind, I am not Republican. I am not Democratic. I am just for the party or the candidate who does the best for the community or me. You know, hey, if you can do both, we can
So
work something out.
it's funny because like, and that's something about primaries that people don't understand is at least in Georgia, you have to pick Democrat, Republic, or nonpartisan.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, because it's a primary, like a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just go nonpartisan. But the idea, if you vote nonpartisan, you're just going to vote for like who are going to be the new judges and like the city referendums that we have. But if you
Those are
vote on the Republic or the Democrat side, you choose who's going to run in the actual election this November. Also,
so
I just pulled up a quick stat. So yesterday, I guess, was the first day of voting, early voting. They had 27,300 people, roughly, I'm rounding, vote early, compared to only 15,000 people all of 2020 early voting, like the couple weeks that it took, compared to 9,000 in 2018 early voting. So
oh
like they
yeah,
smashed entire like weeks worth of records, 3 weeks worth of records in just like a day.
hey, the
So like people are really voting this year.
Republicans got the Civil War going on, man.
Bruh, it's a house divided.
House divided, bro. Like I said, man, I go for whichever candidate is going to benefit. Number one, the community. Number two, me. I mean, shit, if it works out, you lower my taxes, which you know what I'm saying, my boy did. I mean, Kemp did. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I can see how you can win. But it's funny you brought that up about the the bipartisan. So
Mhm.
one time I attempted to. I'm thinking like,
I could vote
I
for
voted.
whoever I want,
Yeah,
right?
this was a
Yeah.
primary. So I
Oh no,
chose
Rick,
during the
it looks like
primary.
your internet cut out or my internet cut out.
You're still here on my side. You froze? Yo, Mehul. I think we lost Mehul. Oh man, we lost my guy. All right. Well, on that note, I guess we can close this thing off then. We are the Peachtree Devs. Sorry about that. My guy has some technical difficulties. Probably bleeding to the next episode. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming through, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitter, which we release on Fridays now, Twitch, Spotify, Apple, all that shit. Like we really appreciate you guys listening to us. We do it for the people, we do it to motivate more than anything else. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, drop that follow, and we're out.